Boys are back. Browns are 5-3.
Yep.
Browns did exactly what we said they'd do. Took care of business versus the Cardinals. Probably did it in a more impressive way than we even thought would happen, but that was definitely a possibility. I mean, that was our most favored game. And how long was it since that Jaguars game? Like 2005 or something?
Something like that.
Most favorite game in almost 20 years.
Wasn't it 1993?
Oh, was it that? Damn. So, yeah. I was off.
Jeez. I did not know that.
I'm thinking of the last shutout was that Bills game in the mid-2000s. But, yeah, obviously our last episode we came in saying we all thought that Watson wouldn't play. And we said we'd gladly be wrong, and we hope he plays. And, you know, he got to get this scrimmage under his belt in a way. So Watson obviously played. Had some good moments, had some bad moments. That first half wasn't the greatest. Came out in the second half, threw some darts, threw some bombs, made some insane throws. So that was definitely nice to see. Yeah, but I mean, overall, the game wasn't too exciting. I wasn't too into it. I can't believe I'm saying that because, you know, there was years we didn't win any football games, and now we're winning one in such a dominant fashion that it was almost I just had better things to do on Sunday. Get some work done around the house, kind of watch as I go. I knew we weren't going to lose. So how'd you guys feel about that Cardinals game? Kyle, how are you feeling about that? What are your thoughts?
I mean, defense looked great. Expected. Clayton Tune kind of just got thrown out there. Like we all knew probably wasn't going to succeed. But I think Watson got better as the game went on, and that was definitely encouraging. Probably had his best throws at Brown as well.
Best throw in maybe 4 years, I said.
100%.
Yeah, specifically Watson. What are your thoughts, Dennis? How'd you feel? Is there a grade you're thinking, or how are you feeling about Watson?
It was a good Watson game. I still think like the Tennessee game was his best game in the Browns uniform. But like the first half, the first couple series were rough. Like I thought it was gonna kind of like the Colts game, a lot of dirt balls, a lot of behind receivers, behind tight ends. But I mean, like you said, the first half kind of came and went, and then he turned it on in the second half. So kind of glad he got that little game under his belt for these next couple games coming up. It's going to be crucial.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I'm sure you guys would agree, was that, which was mainly the reason the second half was so exciting, you could say, was the fact that he did drive the ball down the field and he did make some downfield throws. And he didn't just make downfield throws; he perfected a couple downfield throws. To see him sling the ball like that accurately and you know, not wiggle out the shoulder, not shake off anything, not wince in pain. You know, he was throwing bombs and celebrating with his teammates. He seemed to, I mean, his pictures are pretty good showing of that. He seemed to be, I guess I'd say mentally. I know we were thinking that mentally might be an issue, missing all these games and not feeling healthy, but playing well is one thing, but showing, you know, the excitement he was showing and looking happy to be back and fitting right back into the part of the team. I think that's the biggest thing going forward because, you know, you got your next game against probably your hardest opponent on your schedule, I'd say, in Baltimore. You know, they kicked our ass the first time we played. He obviously didn't play. That game was kind of a wash in that aspect, but I think they dropped 27 on us in our stadium when our defense had yet to give up like a first down through the first couple weeks. So
I think another big hurdle he cleared, he showed he could stand in there and take a hit. Like people underlook that for like a football player, but like if you're coming back from an injury and you just get hit, you're like, okay, I can do this. Now next game should be nothing. Knock on wood.
Yeah, he scrambled for a few first downs and kind of dove weird, and I was like, oh, I winced a little bit, but he just got up and celebrated. But
I mean, I think it's fair to say he's going to get hit this week. Like Baltimore leads the league in sacks. They're going to get after him.
Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna have a game plan.
And not to mention a backup tackle.
Right.
Yeah. I was gonna get into that more, but obviously, you know, we got Jet out. DeJuan Jones is not 100%. You know, he was on and off the field Sunday. I think he'll probably be on the injury report. I'm not even sure what's wrong with him. I'd have to double check. But we'll get into more at the Ravens matchup. But, you know, Amari put up some numbers last week in Seattle, but, I mean, you already see the Watson effect with Amari. So, the last game Watson played, Amari had 7 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown. He has not scored since until Sunday, where he had 5 catches, 139 yards, and a touchdown. So, he had his 2 best games, obviously, with Watson playing. The dynamic that he opens up for Amari, it's just a lot of people don't think of Amari as like this big deep threat because he's not blazing fast. His route running is insane, but I think people underlook like his downfield, his way to find space in zones, and the fact that last throw they mentioned that they kind of drew up in the dirt, and Amari said, I'm going to go beat this guy. I haven't beat. I could see it. Just give me the ball. It's all I need you to do. And then he cut right up the seam and was perfect ball placement. Perfect everything. I know you guys were probably thinking for a minute there it was the passing attack was definitely underwhelming with Watson gone, but how'd you guys feel seeing, Amari and not to mention Njoku, 4 catches, 26 yards and a touchdown, a big touchdown there late. So you guys feeling more confident going into Baltimore now? Are you sold on the passing offense, or you still think there's gonna be a little rust to kick out in the first half? What do you think?
I think the more he throws, the more comfortable he's going to get. The timing will come back. But I think the underrated aspect, Kevin's putting them all in positions to succeed. Like, look at Amari. He's at 3 different quarterbacks now, and he's on pace for 1,300 yards.
Yeah, I'll toss that one to Dennis because I think Dennis has been pretty rock solid. Stefanski guy this year. The way he's just been mending to the situations, making things work out of nothing, basically pulling magic out of his hat. So how'd you feel about the game plan Sunday, Dennis? You think you think Kevin called another good game, put Watson in spots to succeed? Real quick, last 2 starts, Watson's got 4 tutties, 0 picks. So turnover differentials where it's at. What do you think, Dennis?
Yeah, Kevin, Kevin, he could be up there with Coach of the Year like talk. If we keep winning.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's not at this point.
Yeah, 100%. It's just this fascination of wanting to get rid of your coach. I mean, it's every fan base. It's not just the Browns. I mean, it's obviously the Browns because of our history, but like every 32 fan bases wants their coach fired at some point during the season. Like, it's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, dude, Kevin called a great game. He didn't ask him Watson to do too much. He didn't need to do too much. I mean, our defense carried. Took D shops when he had it, and Watson was on the money. I mean, he had some insane throws. Like, people were like, I understand, like Watson as a person, I get that, but like the balls were just insane. Like, I never seen that being a Browns fan in my life. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what this offense can do. I just hope Watson can read the field. I know Baltimore's gonna throw a lot of stuff at him. A lot of different coverages, trying to confuse them, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I feel like looking ahead a little bit, I'm almost, it might be crazy to say, but it's almost more exciting to me seeing where this team is. Like, dude, we're halfway through the season and it's felt like 3 seasons long. Like, this season's been unreal in terms of, ups and downs and ins and outs. It's been crazy. It's been everything that can happen in a football season's happened. And, to be in this, last time we said this was before the 49ers game. We said, this team's got their back against the wall. Are they going to make this season something? Or are they just going to lay down? And they came out and had one of their biggest upsets that I can remember. And, we're in another position now. And what I'm saying is I'm glad that this game is in Baltimore because, we're already underdogs and we're going to be even bigger underdogs. And to be able to go into Baltimore and, looking ahead, say we win this game, that could be that's winning this game could like ignite us to the finish line.
Okay.
Just one win, like a statement win like this it will give the team all the confidence in the world. Obviously for divisional purposes, it'll be a big win. But the thing is, like, if you do win this game, you have to have short-term memory because you got Pittsburgh back at home the next week. You got to win that one too.
Yep.
I went over Cincinnati. We got to get things even with Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I personally, I know we've talked about we don't really want to be. We'd prefer not to be in a wild card race. I think handling the business versus the Colts and the Titans can kind of clear up some mess there. So that will be beneficial in the end. But yeah, I think The fact that this game's coming up is in Baltimore. I want to see some pregame scuffles again, like the 49ers game. I want to see some arguments. I want to see some back and forth. We'll get more into that, but just real quick, touching on Kareem Hunt. We've been talking about him every week now. He's not going to blow the roof off the building, but again, he's just come into this role and done everything asked of him, and we keep glorifying him, which he deserves it. He's not going to get you 60 yards a carry. He's not going to get you 4 catches for 60 yards. He's just not going to do that anymore. But 14 carries, 38 yards, nothing crazy at all. But 4 games in a row now he's had a touchdown. I don't think he's done that since like his rookie year. So
I think the best comparison for their backfield is like New England of like years of past. Like they never really had that superstar, at least like in recent years. But they have 3 guys, and every guy plays their role. That's all you need.
And they won Super Bowls.
You have Pierre Strong, big play if you need it. You got Kareem. You need 4 yards. He's going to run through somebody's teeth. And then Jerome Ford, kind of just a change of pace. He's not been great this year, but he's definitely shown flashes.
No, and he provides a little more in the receiving end, Ford.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you think about the Eagles. They usually have backfield by committee. They had that back when they won a Super Bowl. I think they had like Garrett Blunt.
Yep.
Like that was their guy. And they had like Corey Clement, I think, a couple guys mix in. The Patriots always had backfield by committee. Yeah, I mean, let's check this box score. I know we did this last week. Let's just look again. Browns rushing attack. Jerome Ford, 20 carries, 44 yards. Kareem, 14 for 38. Strong, only 3 for 9. And then you had Ford, 5 catches, 33 yards. So
I don't know why Pierre only had 3 carries. You said
3 carries, 9 yards. Yeah, he didn't play that much. Yeah, we were winning the whole game.
But I think the underrated aspect is he's great on special teams. Like he's been great as a gunner.
Yeah, now they God damn, I didn't even see this. Grant Delpit, 10 tackles, tackle for a loss, QB hit. Jeez, he just
didn't he lead us in tackles last year?
Who, Delpit?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely did. He had 105.
Speaking of Grant, if we're talking about this, here's a hypothetical. You can only keep one. You can keep Grant or JOK. Who are you signing?
Grant,
yeah.
100%.
I think so. I think that's honestly what it's going to come to. It's looking like if JOK is going to get $10 million a year, they're not paying a linebacker that much.
No.
And
it's unfortunate because I like JOK, but
they paid obviously safeties.
Yeah.
Before they pay linebackers, obviously this regime,
especially in this scheme.
Right.
Yeah, and I think you can kind of. I mean, it's harder for Browns fans to grasp that linebackers are a dime a dozen because we've been so shitty drafting them recently, but they really are kind of comparable to like running backs in that way.
Plus, I'm not sure how it works, but if he goes and makes $10 million a year, wouldn't we get a comp pick?
That's something you'll have to check, Kyle. You're usually better with that shit.
I'd have to look into that more, but I'm pretty sure that's how it would work.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, something like that. I think so.
Are you guys seeing my camera? Are you guys seeing the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
My screen's completely frozen, so I can't switch the slide. I'm hoping it comes out soon.
Yeah. We see your movement, your lips. They match the.
Oh, okay. My laptop completely froze, but I mean, no, we don't need to harp on the Cardinals game too long, just because it was a shit show, a one-sided battle. But you flip over to the defensive side of the ball, and you start thinking this defense can't have more impressive performances, and then they just continue to do it. Try to find that stat we put out.
I almost feel bad. Like you put Clayton Tune out there just to get slaughtered. Now Kyler's playing. Like they made a business decision.
Oh, 1,000%.
Oh yeah. Someone was tweeting before the game that they went by St. Ignatius and kind of got a peep of the walkthrough, and they said Clayton Tune was struggling to complete screen passes.
Poor guy.
And tanking is whatever. I mean, they're 1-7. I don't know what's going on with Kyler, but if I were in their position, just a side note, if I were in their position, I'm keeping Kyler and fucking drafting Marvin Harrison.
Dude, I thought the same thing.
They don't have a receiver. They have Hollywood Brown. I think he's on an expiring deal.
But don't they have 2 1s?
I think that
Wait, do they?
or is it the Bears that
The
do?
Bears have 2 1s.
It's one. Yeah, that's who it was.
The Bears have 2 1s, and their other one is owned by the Panthers, who are like 1 and 7 as well.
Yeah,
the Bears what?
The Bears are picking second and third right now.
Yeah, bro.
Yep.
The Bears could be really good in like 2 years.
The Bears are probably gonna add Marv. So I doubt he goes number 1.
It would be cool for him to play with Fields.
I pick Marv number 1.
Yeah, we have a little bit of OSU bias, but I don't think that comes into play here. I just think he's that good.
Caleb Williams is falling.
Yeah, dude, he's poor kid. People got to remember these are like young adults.
They're kids. Like, it was sad. It was sad to see him cry his eyes out from losing a game. That is sad.
It wasn't sad to me. It was embarrassing, but he is a kid, and I'm embarrassed. Like, it's sad for him knowing that he's getting cooked online.
I just think it's more so sad because like you're basically coming to the realization like you're not going to accomplish every college football player at a school like that wants to win a natty. I think that was just like the realization that unfortunately it's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's just tough because he makes like $5 million on NIL
that
deals.
Is true.
So other players don't make anything and they lose and they just go in and keep their head up. But that's a whole different thing. Browns defense, 17 total passing yards, 58 total yards. Cardinals were 1 for 12 on third down, 7 sacks, 3 turnovers. First shutout since December 16th, 2007 versus the Buffalo Bills. And if you remember as well as I do, because I was at that game, that was the Blizzard game.
Yep.
Man.
Browns, Bills, 2007. 2.5 sacks. It was nice to see him have a little coming out party. But the guy I wanted to talk about that we were kind of talking about a lot this week is I think we might, which is crazy to say, I think we're seeing the prime of Denzel Ward. Would you guys say this is his best season?
For sure.
All around?
I mean, it's got to be.
All pro, all elite, everything.
But I think the difference is Miles said it with Kay Adams the other day, or today he was with McAfee. He said the difference is Jim Schwartz let him go, man. They want to be on an island and lock people up. That's what their corners are built for.
Right.
That's all we've been asking for. Juan Thornhill, Denzel Ward's the best cornerback in the NFL. I can simply say that. Is there a world? There's no way. Is there a world where Ward and Emerson both fight for I mean, I guess they could probably both be Pro Bowlers. All pros probably calling too far. I think you just probably go Denzel.
They could.
I think it depends how much you like. Say you finished with 11 wins, which I don't think is that crazy.
No,
I think there's a world they definitely could be.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this stat pop up today. Denzel Ward, 24.2 passer rating allowed in single coverage this season. And, you know, the most we can sit here and talk about Joe Woods all day, but it's just the most frustrating thing is this could have been happening for a few years now.
Right.
You got a bunch of man corners playing zone schemes and blowing coverages and miscommunicating. It was just super frustrating.
It's almost if you put guys in positions to succeed, they're probably going to do better.
Yeah. And I think when Schwartz came over, that's why everyone was so excited because they knew what it was when he came, you know. I think he
Miles
went right
said today that Jim Schwartz straight up told him, we're going to put you all in better positions to succeed, but like you specifically, I want to give you more one-on-one matchups, whether that's inside, moving you around, or on the edge, like switching sides. I was like, how hard has that been his whole career?
That's all we've wanted.
Yep.
It's literally all we've wanted. Sorry, let me pull this up here. But yeah, I mean, that's like we said, you did what you needed to do. You took care of business, but now we're on to our definitely biggest game of the season so far. As we kind of prefaced before, you know, you get to go into Baltimore now, and you got Watson back, and he got his feet under him, and I want to say we're relatively healthy. I think that's fair to say compared to, you know, the most injured team in history, the Baltimore Ravens. They always have everyone injured, but you know, now we come into this game, and if you escape Baltimore with a win, this season did a complete 180 compared to a few weeks ago. We were mentally checked out, you know, saying what a disappointment this was and how sad it is. This team was ready and we got fucked and this and that. And they played their way into the fourth quarter of some games they probably shouldn't have won, and they won a few games they probably shouldn't have won. And kudos to them. That's all on them. That's all on Kevin. That's all on the coaches. So now
I think the last game we were truly like unprepared for from a game planning standpoint was Baltimore, but so much of that was our quarterback didn't even know he was starting until an hour before the game.
Yeah.
Genuinely, that's not even just making the excuse. Now, knowing what we know now, that was the case.
Yeah,
it was worse than like Clayton too going out there last Sunday against us.
Right.
He actually
at least had practice.
Yeah, at least he practiced all the reps.
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair to say. That was the game where we were like, "Oh, this season's gonna go this way, huh?" I thought we were past this.
Yep.
But yeah, looking into Baltimore. Let me see the updated line, but I included these two guys in the picture because we just have Mark Andrews. It's just like we can't keep our eyes on him for an entire game. There's always one huge play he makes.
Always.
And honestly, like, say what you want about Lamar, he's been pretty up and down against us. He's had some of his worst games ever against us. He's had some of his better games.
Didn't he throw 5 interceptions and we still lost?
4. Yeah, I think
4.
I think he threw 4 and maybe had a fumble.
That was the game he went to take a shit and came back and still beat us.
No, that was a different game.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
Was it?
That was 2020 when that was
when he
like
shit.
Monday night or Sunday night.
Both games.
The game he threw 5 interceptions. I think we lost like 13-10.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, Baker.
Yeah, it literally was.
Yeah, we just couldn't score that game.
Yeah,
like
Baker had a bad game too.
Yeah, Baker probably had a worse game in the end somehow. Lamar's been balling, but like not even really. Last 2 games he's got 50,
he might be MVP right now.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're 6-2. They look like the best team in football. He's definitely been good, but the last 2 games, I mean, nothing crazy. He's got 39 completions for 244 yards, 1 touchdown, 15 carries, 70 yards. So
the last game against Seattle, they rushed for 300 yards. Call me crazy. I'll go out on a limb, bet any amount of money. That's not happening in Cleveland. Or not in Cleveland, but versus Cleveland.
Yeah, you'd hope not.
Yeah,
I don't know how it could.
I mean, they gashed us bad last time.
Keaton Mitchell went for 140. And it was his second game ever. Yeah.
Yeah, the Browns lost that game to the Ravens where Lamar threw 4 interceptions. We lost 16-10.
Terrible.
Baker Mayfield went 18-37, 250 yards, and a touchdown. No picks. How did we lose that game?
No picks.
The thing is, even the last Ravens game, as bad as we looked, like we were still in the game.
We were. They just
the third quarter, they pulled away.
Yeah.
Oh, Baker lost a fumble that game. Jarvis lost a fumble that game. And Nick Chubb had 8 carries for 16 yards. What the hell? I didn't even remember that. What is going on?
Yeah, we couldn't. That's why we threw it 37 times because we couldn't run the ball.
Ronnie Harrison had 14 tackles. Shout out Ronnie Harrison. But yeah, I was looking up Mark Andrews versus the Browns.
Insane.
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
Last game, we put 3 guys on him and he mossed us.
Dude, that was that's probably one of Lamar's best balls all year.
Here are some Mark Andrews games versus the Browns. 5 catches, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. 11 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown. 4 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. 5 catches, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. 6 catches, 93 yards, 2 touchdowns. 4 catches, 31 yards, and a touchdown. And then sprinkled in, he had 5 for 80. And 2 games ago, we actually shut him down. He had 3 for 30. But man, if you can figure out a game plan around Mark Andrews, and it should be harder for Lamar to move around and run the way he does. The way this defense is set up, I'm very comfortable letting the guys play man. Really in their passing attack. Odell Beckham. I'm sorry. No,
you got
I'm not
Zay
worried
Flowers.
about him. Zay Flowers,
That's
exactly. That's the only guy I'm worried about.
And he's solid, but OBJ is the ghost of Odell. Odell is just a name at this point.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And last game was one of those games where Lamar, He didn't do any. I mean, 15 for 190, 2 touchdowns. It just looked like they were playing a scrimmage. And I know that's unfair because we did throw together shit, but I'm not even worried about the 2 touchdowns. The thing that lost us that game ultimately is Lamar had 2 rushing touchdowns. I thought our defense was in a position where we wouldn't let him break plays the way he does. And he did just that. He broke plays out of nothing, ran for touchdowns. And that's what he's going to do to you if you're not prepared. And that's how they'll win games. They just find ways to win.
How much of that is because our offense was just that bad? Like, our defense was literally on the field the entire game.
Yeah. Let me look at the possession.
Real quick, I know we're a man team, but I think this week you might have to sprinkle in some like zone, like a robber, like a spy, because I
think you almost have to put JOK, just make his job exclusively tracking Lamar.
Yes, I feel like once he scrambles and we're already all manned up and everybody's back's turned, he's just gonna run.
Yeah,
he's gonna run around. Somebody's gonna get open. He's gonna break a tackle. I feel like we gotta mix in zone and man in the same play, same scheme.
And I think Miles has 4 sacks against him. Is what they said the other day.
Yeah, Miles does pretty good against Lamar and Burrow.
Yep.
The Ravens.
Yeah, Lamar does run into sacks too, which is helpful.
He does, yeah.
100%.
No one's really talking about the Ravens O-line. They're really good.
Bro, they are insane.
They're probably the most underrated unit in the NFL right now. No one's talking.
Linderbaum is a stud.
They're probably the best line in football right now.
I know. No one's talking about them. Nobody.
Don't they still have Zeitler?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but he's kind of mid now.
He is, but dude,
not this year.
Their line, they pushed us around last game. It was bad.
Oh, they dominated the track. The last game was the first drive. I was like, oh, this is over.
Yeah.
And it is time to touch on again. The news obviously today. Jed Wills is out. Cameron Mitchell's now out too, randomly. It seems like they expect Greg Newsome to be back, so I'm not too worried about that one. DeJuan Jones is, banged up. Haven't heard anything else about Watson shoulder. Didn't see anything after the game. Didn't hear anything. Seems like he's good.
News is good news.
Yeah, and some of the throws he made, you just got to assume it's feeling a lot better. But dude, just I was just ranting about how big this game is and playing on the road, but you take it a step further. Think of how big this game is for Deshaun specifically. If he goes into Baltimore and puts up 250 and 2 touchdowns and a rushing touchdown or 3 tutties, or I don't even care if he puts up 200 with no touchdowns, no picks, and just drives us down the field and gets his points, which leads us to winning this game. This could be a legacy game, if you want to call it that, for his Browns career. For his career, I'm not even going to say his Browns career, for his career, because everyone's written him off. I think sometimes we even do, just out of frustration. And like we say all the time, there's a segment of NFL fans and Browns fans that'll never like the guy, never respect the guy, never want to root for him, which we get. But you go out and play elite. No one can shy away from that. They just got to accept the facts. I saw his throws going viral on Twitter, and people were very angry. But you go into Baltimore and win this game, and kind of start stealing away the division. That's a way to win everybody back, in our fan base at least.
I don't even care, as long he could have 175 yards and not turn the ball over. But if you get the win, who cares?
Yeah,
just win at any cost.
Like a Pat Mahomes stat line, like he did against who they faced, Miami and Germany, just
2 touchdowns,
185, 2 touchdowns, you won. You didn't turn the ball over.
Yep.
Yeah. That's that's obviously completely true. But the greediness in me wants him to just come out and have that game,
100%
against the Ravens. Just come out and have that game where we can look at another fan base and say, haha, fuck you. We told you it was coming. It would just be so crazy for him to go out and just light him up and us go win this game. And I don't even want to say in a dominant fashion, but in a controlling fashion, to where it's like, I want other teams to look at our offense and be like, what the fuck do we do to stop them?
Right.
You know, we're always looking at Lamar like we said, we gave Lamar some of his worst games in his career, and still in the end, he came and won them the game. It's like, bro, he still got the last laugh. It doesn't even matter about all the other shit.
Right.
It means nothing. He got the W.
Yep.
I just think what's going to be important is not trying to play hero ball. Like take what they give you. You don't always have to have the big play, and if you do that, you should be in good shape.
But your layups,
Like
bro.
sometimes, too many times, we'll go for the big throw over the top and turnovers. That's what's killed us this year.
Yep.
Instead of just taking the easy underneath route.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You know, the last two starts that Watson has gotten a lot better at. Because I mean, we were mad he wasn't throwing downfield last game, and then he did come out and launch a couple, and you know he's not forcing anything. He's not getting those interceptions, those turnovers. I mean, count the Colts game all you want. The dude was 40%. I didn't expect anything. Couldn't throw the ball 20 yards. So those last two healthy starts, you know, he looked more in control and more confident. I just want to beat the fucking Ravens, dude. I
know, dude.
This is more of a rivalry than the Steelers anymore in my mind. Like, we're always looking up at the Ravens. The Steelers are right there with us or worse. They stink. The Ravens are awesome. Like, I want to be like them. I don't want to be like Pittsburgh.
Right.
Dog shit. You know? I'm serious, dude. I'm tired of watching that dog shit team win football games. At least the Ravens win them in ways where you're like, oh, that was impressive.
Let's make the Harbaugh's weeks more miserable because Jim's getting suspended and John's losing to the Browns on Sunday.
I hope.
Yeah.
Did you remember that win in Baltimore when we had Baker and Chubb went off, dude? That was one of the most memorable times and wins I had being a Browns fan.
Wasn't it 42-24 or something?
Yeah, it was a beatdown. It was bad.
Was that the game right after we got our ass kicked by the Titans? Or am I thinking
I don't know if it was after the Titans.
It was early in the season, though.
It was early, yeah. Dude, I watched it downtown in the flats, dude. I was lit all day, that whole week. I love that win. I just want to feel that again. I don't want to feel that again, bro. We're on the other end of that.
We won 40-25.
Yep. And that 25, I think they had a garbage time TD.
Nick Chubb had 20 carries, 165 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he went off.
Baker, bro, this game was nuts. Baker went 20 for 30, 342 yards and a touchdown. Jarvis had 8 catches, 170 yards. And then Ricky Seals-Jones, 3 catches, 82 yards and a tutty.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
And then
insane.
Odell had 2 catches for 20 yards and he was pouting after the game.
Oh yeah, he was.
Fucking loser. Even Lamar, Lamar had 2 picks that game. Their running back was Mark Ingram. Damn, that was 2019 before COVID. Yeah, I just want to, dude. In the picture, we all remember it. You know, Baker running behind Chubb.
Everybody
wearing
posted that, and Karn still posts that.
Yeah, white tops, orange pants.
Yep.
What a picture! What a picture! We thought we were Super Bowl bound.
He was literally marching down the field like a drum major in the Ohio State marching band.
Yeah, that's a good point, Dennis. That just pumped me up. I want to go in and feel that again.
I know, dude. I was downtown in the flats at a bar. Dude, the feeling, just on, on Twitter, dude, it was so good. It's we went in Baltimore and punched them in the mouth. Obviously that season, the season didn't how we wanted, but that moment, we're bro, we beat the fuck out of Baltimore. Let's go.
Yeah,
you win these next 2 weeks. Your only divisional game is Cincinnati, and we own them. We really do.
I was telling Pete on Twitter yesterday that they don't have to worry about us. We're gonna be playing. We're gonna be resting our starters, and DTR is gonna be playing.
Yeah.
That's funny. I hope so. I'm fine with it.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, they did it against us a couple of times. So.
Yeah, we'll give them one back. We owe them, I think.
Right.
Yeah. Let me. So the Browns opened at 5.5-point underdogs. That is now
6.
It moved to 6. I'm seeing 6 on DraftKings. Might be 6.5 some places. So
I've seen that 5.5 on FanDuel a couple of days ago. It could have changed.
Browns are even plus 200. So if you want to double your money and you're confident in the Browns, there you go. The over-under set at 37.5. So again, they're not expecting A crazy shootout. Okay, listen to this. The Browns Ravens total is lower than the Steelers Packers.
What?
Yeah.
How?
The Browns. Wow. Let's go a step further. The Browns total is the third lowest total on the board this week.
That's insane.
The only ones lower are Giants Commanders,
Panthers
Gross.
and Bears.
and Jets Raiders.
Oh wow.
Panthers Bears have a higher total than the Browns.
The Raiders just put 30 on the Giants, so I know it's the Giants.
Jets defense is just stingy, dude. But they're going to Vegas on Sunday night.
I think that's what they're thinking. Just AFC North football is always a slugfest, and you got two good defenses.
Well, I mean, let's think. Let's look at our last few times we played them. Browns versus Ravens past games. 28-3, 28-3, 13-3, 20-23, 24-22, 10-16, 6-38, 42-47. That was that crazy primetime game. I got 12-9 in there. I think probably the last three games probably went under their total that was posted.
And I'm even gonna throw out like the last time we played them with DTR. I'm not counting that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. 6-point underdogs, really low total. Again, we always bring it back to Vegas. Vegas is expecting, back and forth dogfight. The Ravens are at home, so they get that extra 3 points, you could say. So really, it's like a 3-point. It's going to be a one possession game. Let's look at a couple questions here, and then we'll do our predictions, and we'll call it an episode. Somebody asked. I'll just ask you guys as if I'm asking you. If you shut down the run game, do you shut down the Ravens?
I don't think you can truly shut them down if you shut down the run game, but it definitely makes it a lot harder for Lamar to operate with the pass rush that we have. So I'd say it gives you a lot better chance of winning.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it starts on no matter what Lamar does, it starts on the ground for the Ravens. If you let them control the trenches, like we said last game, they just dominated up front. If you let them start doing that, they're just going to do whatever they want to. They're going to work in the play action. They're going to work Mark Andrews in down the field. It's just all down from there. How come mobile quarterbacks seem to be the defense's kryptonite this year? What other mobile quarterbacks have we played?
That's what I was trying to think of.
All mobile quarterbacks are just tough to guard.
That's just the new era of the NFL in general.
Just another thing you got to deal with.
You don't really see Big Ben style of quarterbacks. Like Big Ben could move, but he was not fast.
Rivers, like Eli Manning, that kind of era is gone.
Right.
They're dead and gone.
Dude, honestly, I was reading about it today, but I gotta agree. This is probably the lowest level of QB play in one season I've seen in the past decade. It's Pat Mahomes. It's Pat Mahomes, then everybody else sucks.
I think it just goes to show like how bad the backup quarterbacks in the NFL truly are. Because we have there's 9 starting quarterbacks injured across the league.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just think Hurts is definitely turning on. Josh Allen's fucking having a hard year. Tua looks good every other game. Like there's really Burrow's coming on. I think Burrow might make a run at the MVP race at this point. Dude's going nuts.
He might.
Okay. Do you think the Browns will do the Ravens the same way the Dolphins did back in 2020, where they blitzed him over like 80% of the plays? You remember that game? Dolphins were like 1-10 and beat the Ravens.
Oh, I remember that.
They had that lineman score that touchdown. Yep. I think it was a Thursday night game.
Schwartz doesn't really blitz a ton, like traditionally. He gets pressure up front. Sometimes sends like an extra man.
I don't think we need to blitz. We're winning.
We're winning guys to do their job.
Yeah, we're winning pass rushes with 4 or 5 men rush every other play, and
And
I do think you see a lot of speed packages where you'll see Miles and maybe Za'Darius line up inside, and you'll bring in Ogbo on the edge. I think that would work.
Is Alex Wright going to be out? Is he hurt again?
I think so.
Someone said like they could see McGuire getting more chances.
He didn't look bad.
He got in toward the end of the game yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to rely on blitzing because if you blitz on Lamar, good luck. You know, that's when he makes the superhero plays. So I don't know. I'll answer that by saying I completely trust whatever Jim Schwartz's game plan is, and I'm excited to see what it is.
If you're blitzing against Lamar, you damn sure better get home.
Exactly.
And make sure Lamar's on the ground.
I want to see, like, first drive, someone make a fucking huge hit and just the defense going crazy off rip.
You need to set the tone, bro. So
yeah.
100%.
That's the motto this week.
Turnover.
Yep. The motto this week is set the tone.
Like what they did against CMC. They hit him in the mouth, and he did not want to play.
That kind of coincides our next question. How can we beat the buzzsaw that is this Ravens team? Set the tone. A reply below it was actually very knowledgeable. Pressure and field position. Make Lamar drive down the whole field on this defense. Don't let him roll out. Double mark Andrews. On offense, going to be all about chunk plays. Hard to build a drive against the Ravens, so we need shots and bunches. It's a pretty fair assessment.
Yep.
Through the next 4 games, how many wins would make you comfortable going into the final stretch?
Let's see. We got Baltimore and Pittsburgh. I think if you win these next 2,
in Denver,
you win these next 2, you're set up great. The rest, I think it's Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Denver, and LA. I want to say, I think that's exactly
Baltimore,
what
Pittsburgh, at Denver, at LA,
and they're staying out there those 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're right. We talked about that.
Might as well.
Matt Stafford's hurt again, so I don't even know what that's going to look like.
They just signed Carson Wentz, which gross.
Yeah, Jesus, Puka Nacua.
He's been talking about on the radio the last month. I was losing my mind.
Yeah, and I mean, that Broncos game looked a lot better a few weeks ago, but they just came out, whooped the Chiefs' ass, and beat the Packers in a close game. So, you know, they've looked a little better lately.
Yeah, I'm going to jump the gun and say that could be a trap game for us.
100%, dude. 100%.
Yeah. It's a tough travel spot.
Yeah, it's always a shitty travel spot. It's impossible for your body to acclimate to that city in that amount of time.
The altitude.
You can't do it. It's not humanly possible. So you're already playing at a disadvantage, it feels like. Yeah, that's good for the questions. Let's do predictions.
I got one. Here's what's your bold prediction for Browns versus Ravens?
Got to think about that. My bold prediction is the Browns get multiple interceptions.
Oh,
I was gonna say this. I was gonna say Lamar turns the ball over twice.
So we're on the same path.
Yep.
James Prochet touchdown. That's Dennis's. I already know.
Yes, it is. Anytime TD. He almost
broke one.
Dude, like we have the best returns all year, and all of them most come back.
Hey, that's a good point to bring up. We got James Prochet. He's been with the Ravens for the last 2 years, I think, and we got Kenyon Drake. Little intel coming our way. Something to think about. However much that matters to you. Yeah, let's do predictions and get out of here. Kyle, I'll let you always go first. Go ahead. What are you thinking?
I'm going to say 27-21 Browns.
So you're taking the over?
Yep.
Well, taking the over. Dennis?
Ain't gonna like this, but I still want to. I don't know. I'm just going with my kind of what I'm feeling right now. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think
we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. You're like Brad Stainbrook.
Ravens 24, Browns 20.
Okay. You're taking the over as well. Oh man. I'm with you. My brain's saying Ravens are gonna win, but my heart's saying the Browns have just a come out party. I'm gonna go Browns 20, Ravens 16.
Oh wow.
Our predictions have been pretty close too, I'll be honest. We've had some shit that we've been saying that has gone on to really, like, the Seahawks game. I said I could see us getting down 14-0 fast. and then having to fight back, and we'll see how we respond. And we went down 14-0 like that. Like I was getting in the car, and I'm like, oh damn, they scored again.
I think if you go into Baltimore and win on the road, that's huge. One, for your confidence, and two, just showing everyone you're not the same old Browns.
Nope. So we got Kyle 27-21 Ravens. I'm gonna text these to you guys because I keep going back in the episode and just trying to find them. We got Kyle 27-21 Browns. Dennis said 24-21 Ravens. What'd you say?
24-20.
24-20 Ravens. And I'm going 20-16 Browns. All right. Episode 8 in the books. Let's go out. Let's win a game on the road. Let's really turn this season around. And man, you go turn this around. Vibes are going to be sky high coming back home against Pittsburgh. And we've been playing good against Pittsburgh at home. So that'd be huge.
You come home at 6-3. There's no reason that stadium in Cleveland versus Pittsburgh should not be, one, filled to the brim, and two, the loudest it's been in years.
They shouldn't even score a touchdown. They fucking suck. Their offense is so bad.
They didn't even hit the red zone. Like, Kenny Pickett's awful. I don't.
Yeah.
Steelers fans can go cry somewhere else.
Yeah, they need to draft a QB.
If we go in and beat the Ravens and come back home against the Steelers, that line might be a heavy betting line.
It is. It's going to be like 8.5.
Dude, it really could be. It really could be. Especially if George Pickens is already working off a bus stop at that point. That dude's about to be out of town.
That dude's the most, like, he's the, like, I know we're going low, but
say what you really want to say.
I was just saying we're getting a little past, but like he's just so, like, he's the most diva receiver ever.
It's crazy
already to me. It's pretty nuts.
What is up with them? Like, they're obviously very good at drafting receivers, but they always have a guy that's just not right.
Dude, it's like they know how to draft them too. It's insane.
They do, but
every decade, every different generation, they draft them so well. It's like, I don't get it.
Dude, it's speaking of that, Martavis Bryant's back in the NFL. He was a good pick.
Dallas.
He was Dallas. Yeah. Of course he went to Dallas.
Yeah, he could have been. I mean, he was really good for like a half a year there until he.
Didn't he just get suspended for smoking weed?
I think he got arrested for something too. I can't remember, but he was kind of a hothead too. But Steelers will be there regardless of a win or a loss. Let's hope it's a win. Move to 6-3. You know, we win this game, the division's going to be right there for the taking. It's going to be a fun final quarter of the season. We got our ats on the screen. Show the boys some love. Follow the pages. Like, share, and subscribe. You know where to find us.
Prove me wrong, Browns.
Yeah. Prove Dennis wrong and win 20-16 so I can brag about it again.
Yep.
And we will see you next week at 6-3.
Yep.
Go Browns.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, let's get it. Go Browns.
Go Browns.